Welcome to Rainy Day Rabbit Holes, where we take the history of the West off the rails.
If you like your history unhinged, you are in the right place.
I'm Shea.
And I'm Jody.
Let's fall down the rabbit hole.
Okay, Shea, buckle up.
I'm buckled.
Because during our silly summer sessions, now I haven't left town. I'm still in Seattle.
It's virtual.
It's virtual.
Virtual road tripping
right.
We're doing.
So my story still takes place right here in the Pacific Northwest, but it is a silly story. It's a fun kind of story.
Oh, and this one is for our pod friend, Brian.
Yes. This is a request.
Yes.
See, this is really important because you can send us requests for stories and we will do them. And this is a podcast friend request and I am honoring it.
Yes, from Brian of Spirits and Monsters of Old Seattle. And well, he's actually the game master for the Alien RPG podcast that we are currently recording with Midday Movies and Tyrant in Training. So this one was at his request. He said he wants to know why this thing exists.
I don't know if I totally have an answer for you. I can tell you how this thing exists.
Okay. Maybe not what the reasoning was behind it.
I mean, there's some whys, but okay. Today we're digging into how a 16-foot Lenin statue ended up glaring over Fremont and why nobody's exactly sure whether they love it, hate it, or just want to paint it red at night. So the original story goes back to 1981. The Communist Party of Czechoslovakia commissioned a Bulgarian sculptor, Emil Venkov. And again, I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce it.
I think it sounded perfect.
And so they commissioned Emil Venkov to create a Lenin statue. But Venkov wasn't building your typical peacenik philosopher. He sculpted Lenin scowling, surrounded by flames and guns, and a less peaceful, more revolutionary badass is how he's portraying him. After nearly a decade of work, and think about that, it took a whole 10 years to build this thing that nobody's sure what they even think of it.
Was he working on it just on the weekends?
Right? It took 10 years.
Yeah.
I'll ask my husband. I'm just kidding. He's going to kill me.
Whatever project that has taken 10 years. Yeah. I have some of those too that my husband has been working on for
He listens to this
hi
podcast.
Hi.
I love you.
Mine doesn't listen, so.
Okay, so we'll ask your husband. Just kidding. Okay, so was unveiled in Poprad, then part of Czechoslovakia, in 1988, just before the Velvet Revolution was set in motion, a rapid decommunization.
That's a hard word.
I know, decommunization. And mass toppling of Lenin monuments. So they were getting rid of Lenin monuments there.
It's like, it just took me 10 years.
He's like, fine, I'll go to Seattle. Fast forward. In 1989, after the total communist collapse, the statue was removed and dumped in a scrapyard, likely headed for the melting pot.
Oh, wow.
We didn't leave it there.
Is there like a scrapyard just full of Lenin statues?
Right? Can you imagine?
I just see that, and they're just all piled up on top of each other, sometimes the faces in a crotch.
Right. You'd almost want something made out of that. If you were...
you could make a sculpture out of Lenin sculptures.
Right.
Where they're just like Jenga stacked.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You had a good idea that apparently no one else had.
You could make a 50-foot tall by just reusing old statues, old bronze sculptures, and you just...
Especially of dictators or whatever we're calling him.
You could make a wall.
You could make a whole wall of how you've melted these statues we no longer... I think that's a whole another monument.
If you just melted them enough where you could get them to stick together, where you could still tell what they were, but they were starkly distorted. And then people could sit there and stroke their chin and try to figure out the meaning.
Mm-hmm. All right. So enter Louis, or Lou as they called him, Carpenter, an English teacher from Issaquah.
Oh.
Issaquah, Washington.
I love Issaquah.
He just happened to be teaching in Poprad. He met Venkov and got drawn into the arts grift. Not because he was a commie, but because it made for an arresting piece of art. So he just thought it was an amazing piece of art, even though he wasn't a communist. It still seems weird, though, because it's like honoring and highlighting. Like, why are you into this piece of art? He saw art in it. Carpenter, Lou, mortgaged his house, scraped up roughly $40,000 to $110,000. The exact numbers vary depending on where you get your source. And bought the statue around March 1993, not 83.
This guy must not have been married. Can you imagine if your husband was like, so, honey,
Anywhere from 40,000 to 110,000.
babe, we're gonna put another mortgage on our house, and I'm gonna drain our savings so I can go buy this big statue of Lenin.
Yes, he had to be single. Good point. I never
Papa?
thought of it. So he bought the statue around March of 1993, had to cut it into 3 pieces.
Oh, geez.
So it was shipped from Slovakia to Rotterdam to Washington State.
Wow.
The statue arrived in Issaquah in August of 1993, and plans were to plop it in front of Carpenter's proposed Slavic restaurant or even downtown Issaquah, all of which the locals said absolutely not.
Oh, man.
Issaquah said, no, we do not need a Lenin statue.
But for the citizens of Issaquah, the statue
Right.
could have been in downtown Issaquah in front of like Jack's restaurant
Yep.
across from the fishery or something.
I mean, why not? Yeah. They're like, no. But then tragedy struck. Lou Carpenter died in a car crash February of 1994, mid-debate with where to put this thing. So it had not been decided by the time of his death.
No, and then his heirs are like at the reading of his will, and they're like,
You inherit this.
there's no estate except for this freaking Lenin statue.
Yeah, he's got
How mad
no
would you
assets.
be? And you're like, I don't even want it. It will cost me money to own this thing because I have to figure out where to put it.
Yeah. Except for, maybe you could melt it down and keep the metal. But...
Yeah, could you sell the metal?
Mm-hmm.
Could you sell the Lenin
Scrap
statue
metal.
to the metal scrapyard?
Well, did you know...
Can you imagine you just pull up in a series of
There's a big
trucks,
Lenin.
There's a Lenin statue, and you're like, how much you'll give me for that?
Well, coming into Bonnie Lake on 410, there was a bronze statue there. Apparently it's the artist's son, I believe. And was it a kite or something, fishing pole? I don't know, but it was this statue as you're coming into town. And one morning, it was no longer there. It was stolen and melted down.
I was wondering what happened to
Yeah.
that. I do remember that. Or was it like a boy with some geese? Or was it a boy with a kite? There was something flying
over.
behind
Was it
him.
fishing? I can't remember now. I'd have to look it up. But yeah, someone stole that because it was copper to get melted down. I'm sure it's
Lame.
completely into many other items right now.
Rich and I looked at this house one time a long time ago that like the week before we looked at it, because it had been sitting empty, somebody came in and stripped out all the copper wiring.
Oh my gosh.
And they were like, okay, I guess we'll lower the price by $5,000.
$5,000.
They're like, yeah,
$5,000.
have to replace all the wiring in the house.
That'll cost only $5,000. Deal. So without him, his family looked to melt it.
Yeah, I would too.
But Peter Bevis, founder of the Fremont Foundry, convinced them otherwise. So this statue just keeps having saviors.
Well, Fremont is quirky.
It is quirky, actually. That's true. That's where the troll is.
Yeah, exactly.
Among other things. In June 1995, the statue debuted in Fremont, Evanston and 34th Street, to be exact. A year later, it moved to its current spot at Fremont Place, North and 36th Street. Technically, the statue is still for sale. So, I mean, if you're
really?
If you're interested, Brian,
should we start a GoFundMe for the podcast?
Yeah. Yes.
Don't worry about supporting us. Let's just raise money and we'll all buy this Lenin statue.
Do you think it will fit in our studio? No.
I think those are 15-foot ceilings.
Yeah.
So we'd have to put a hole into your loft. So
just peeking out the ceiling of the...
Looking at your kids' stuff.
He'd be watching the lake.
There you go. Is there a little window up there, right?
We could just put his head in the window. Oh my gosh. Now I'm serious
so
about
when
this.
people are on the lake and they look over and there's Lenin's face peeking through your shop window. I just think you should just put it outside so it's looking over your house.
I think we need to do this now.
Okay, go on.
Carpenter's family placed it in a trust via Fremont Chamber of Commerce, originally asking $150,000 in 1995. By 2015, the price tag had climbed to $250,000 and now currently $300,000.
Okay, yeah, we're not buying it.
I don't know. We got lots of people that can donate.
I don't know. We can buy a vacation condo for $300,000.
Right.
I'd rather have that than a Lenin statue. I can't vacation inside Lenin. I mean, depends on what you're into.
Boy, my mind went so many places.
Immediately, as soon as I said it, I was like, oh.
So all the while, the statue has become a Fremont landmark, even more famous than Fremont's quirky rocket and troll. The controversies, though, art versus hate symbol. Which is it? Some see Lenin's bronze mug as a communist chic glorifying a dude behind the Red Terror and millions of deaths. And that's kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I don't see the value in having him be a discussion point. Or, I don't know, when you have a statue, it's never making a statue of something you never want to be or never want to glorify or honor. So it feels weird to have a statue of Lenin.
But I should play devil's advocate on that. They do dress him up for holidays.
Yes. So this is the other side of the argument here. And this argument is that Fremont is weird.
Yes.
And it's kitschy and it's part of their freaky artsy vibe that defines the place. So yes, they use this quirky statue and dress it up and do weird things to it. And in reality, if you think of it that way, if Lenin were here today, he'd be very upset about the way we treat this statue.
Yeah, it's mocking him. It's taking away the dignity of it.
Yes.
At Halloween, I love it. They put a giant jack-o'-lantern on his head.
Yeah.
It's my favorite thing ever.
Yes. So in that way, I guess it's kind of fun.
Yeah, if you're going to have... So it would be like if instead of toppling the statue of like a Confederate figure, you just dressed him up in silly outfits the entire year to make a mockery of him.
Right. How often have we
and remove his dignity?
A flannel on him?
I don't know.
I mean, it's so Seattle.
If I lived in Fremont, I would be constantly like making clothes to put on him.
Yeah.
Like a nice little dress. Maybe like a sparkly halter top dress.
I know, I was just thinking we need to make him like
he's going out on the town.
Going to get him some.
Oh, we could make him a bachelorette and put like a penis crown on his head. I mean,
little penis confetti around. He needs one of those. Have you seen the?
It's like Mardi Gras beads with little penises on them.
Yes, but no, I'm thinking about like that yard-long drink that you hang from your neck, but like penis shaped.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. See, that's the thing. Is then we're not glorifying him if we're literally mocking him and removing his dignity by doing this to a representation of him. Then I think that if you're doing it like that, if people were getting all upset about putting funny clothes on him and putting a jack-o'-lantern head on him, then you'd be like, well, yeah, we're not trying to glorify this man.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can't erase history by erasing monuments. That's another thing.
As long as you're not it's not a moment of honoring them.
Right. That's where I think that, doing this to them is good. And it's it's the quirky Fremont thing. Though I think the Fremont quirkiness is dying.
Yeah.
Because of what would have been called yuppies. And I don't think we use that term anymore. But
what was it? Young, upper, what it stood for something.
Preppies, right? Wasn't preppy in there? Young, upper class, preppy people. Something. Yeah. I don't know.
I think you had to be young too.
It's like, it's so expensive to live there now. And all the shops are these like high end, like juice shops where you pay like $15 for a
what did you call
juice.
It? Juice.
No, not what you think. I just said juice.
I'm looking at you going, that is not something she would say. Why is she saying that?
I never thought of Shea as anti-Semitic before.
Yeah, you got to separate those words. Juice
shop. Sorry, guys.
All right, so Mayor Ed Murray had a problem with this, so
is he a Karen?
And he called for removing the Lenin statue. Though the statue is privately owned on private property, he had zero authority. He was asking for it to be removed. This stirred another wave. Conservatives rallied, left-leaning locals defended it as historical art, and even Slavic Americans weighed in.
And what'd they think?
So Slavic Americans are not exactly a fan of having this statue based on their experience or their loved ones' experience of being under this kind of communist rule. So they were not into that. Although, like you said, the humiliating aspect of it, they're
into that.
They're into that.
Yeah, but I could see that being like a constant reminder.
Yes.
Of the abuse that they suffered under his hands.
Yes, exactly. It's just takes them back to a time in their country that was not a good time.
Yeah,
Something they
it'd be kind of like if you were assaulted by somebody and somebody decided to put their face on a dartboard and like, sure, you're throwing darts at it, but then that dartboard is always there in your favorite bar or whatever.
Right. And then exactly. And some people, left there at that time because of that, right? To come here.
Right.
And not feel that way. And now it's just like in your face memory of,
I get that.
Here's why I had to leave my home country, my family,
And here he is, larger than life,
right. In Fremont, Seattle.
As long as he's wearing a nice dress, it's okay.
So, like Shea mentioned, in true Fremont style, Lenin is frequently dressed up. A Christmas light star on his head, pride drag, painted his hand in red, burrito prop from Taco Del Mar, of all places, even whipped him into an Easter bunny one year.
I love it.
And yes, someone painted his left hand red to symbolize blood, and he's been a canvas for protest artists.
Sure.
So it's a great place to go give a message where you're not destroying other public property.
I kind of love that.
Destroy it is all you want. The statue is like a giant middle finger to boring, straight-laced art. I don't think, how much of that do you find in Fremont? Boring, straight-laced art.
There's none.
Yeah, that's where you go for the quirky. It's like the troll, the rocket, and that center of the universe sign Fremont chooses odd. Political punch? Hell yes. It forces people to confront complicated history. And that's kind of what we've been doing back and forth right here, right?
Yeah.
Is it celebrating a tyrant or mocking him? Depends on who's looking at it, right? Or dressing him up. And that tension is the point. It keeps it relevant, right? We've got that. What happens when you have a communist regime? Don't forget, much like you don't want to forget the Holocaust and fascism of the Nazis before World War II. And you can tell just now, in this current time, that with enough time and space, you can recreate your own errors. And this just is out there like, look, this is what communism is. Sure, it seems like someone's in control of the country and there's the good side of the communism or why you would want it also comes with the blood. There's no way to make all of those things happen without controlling humans in ways that are brutal.
Yep.
So here's the rundown. Lenin was built to glorify revolution, ditched in a junkyard, saved by an English teaching capitalist asshole.
Was he?
Okay, I'm going to take that back because I don't really want to call him that. But yeah, like when you do the research, people told him not to do this. He was just kind of not hearing what people were saying.
Okay.
People even over in Russia or Czechoslovakia didn't want him. They don't want to idolize Lenin.
Okay. So
they wanted
he was
it melted
being
down.
problematic.
Yeah.
Okay.
And when I was writing this, I was feeling sparky.
Also,
and now I feel bad. The statue moved thousands of miles, rejected by suburbia, embraced by a freak art oxygen bar of a neighborhood, and now sits there silently grinning or scowling over Fremont. Its history, capitalism, satire, controversy, and Fremont being Fremont. And guess what, Shea? It's still not sold. It's still there for us to observe for free. If you have $300,000 and you'd like to acquire a Lenin statue, it is still for sale. And so if it was up for sale like in when did he die? 98. So it's up for sale. That's a long time that thing's for sale.
Or maybe if you have $300,000, you could donate it to a cause that really needs the money instead of paying for a piece of art. Yeah.
I agree.
That's my thought on purchasing stupid things like that.
Just crazy to me that this man teaching English in Czechoslovakia decides that it's worth a lot of money to buy this statue.
Yep.
Cut it into 3 pieces. Ship
Had
it
to
back
have cost
here.
a fortune to come back, ship back
Then
there
put
too.
back together.
Yeah. That's
and
not
find
cheap.
no home for it, really. And no buyers, and it's just going to sit there. At this point, I wonder if the city doesn't acquire it somehow or get it donated and just make it like a city attraction. Like, come here and learn about this thing and dress it up any way you want. Bring your goods. I don't know. Bring your decor, your costumes. How do you want Lenin to look this week?
Interesting. I thought that there would have been like some real interesting reason for him being there.
Nope.
Like somebody was making a massive statement.
Yeah, no, that's exactly why I said.
Wasn't.
I said the why is like, I don't really. No one knows why.
Interesting.
No compelling why. Because I wanted to.
That's so interesting. Now, when I drive by, I will, be better educated. All right, there you go, Brian. Now you know the story behind the Lenin statue in Fremont.
It's just
Seattle.
weird people with too much money is my thought on it.
God, and I just can't stop thinking about like, he must not have been married.
He had to have not been married.
Because I can't imagine any spouse going, sure, honey, that sounds like a great idea.
Yes. Let me get you a cashier's
And
check.
you're a teacher in Czechoslovakia. You're probably not making a ton of money.
Right.
In 1993.
How does this happen?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Crazy.
He calls dad. Dad, you got any money for me?
Of course, then the cost of housing in relation to the median income, I think, was a lot different too.
Maybe.
I think it was cheaper
bought
overall to buy a house.
Our first
in the 90s.
house in 95. But that house has been torn down. And so I don't even know. I wouldn't be able to compare
What it's worth today.
today.
Yeah.
It's now a parking lot.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, thank you for that summer silly season.
Yeah, I'm looking
story.
forward to this series of fun,
I think we'll
quirky
just
stories.
do this every summer where we just fall down the rabbit hole of whatever strikes our fancy, basically.
We were planning on taking summers off, but I think this plan is better.
Yeah.
It's just quick, easy, fun.
Exactly. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much. Remember, you can always support us by going to rainydayrabbitholes.com/support and becoming a patron of our little show. It helps us to pay all of the ongoing costs and someday maybe even pay us back for our initial thousands of dollars we've invested. And we continue to do so when we're like, you know what we really need for the podcast is a giant poster of Bigfoot petting a raccoon. Sexy Bigfoot, by the way. Those are important things.
Yes,
it helps us create our art.
Well, I feel like he's a great audience member in here. He's just
Does it
smiling
look like
at
he's
us
looking
and petting
at
his
you?
raccoon.
He looks like he's looking directly at me. But do you see him looking at you from your direction?
Yeah,
Is it one of those?
He's
It is
one of those where he's totally smiling at me.
He really could use a toothbrush too.
And his nails clipped.
Yeah, that too. I'm worried about the raccoon. But of course, the raccoon probably needs his nails clipped too.
He kind of looks scared now that I think about it.
The raccoon, he's like, get me away. I think he's
like,
going to eat
help.
me. Also, why is the raccoon at his crotch? All right, we're not going to go down this. All right. Anyway, just $5 a month. Really helps us out to pay all these bills. And you get ad-free episodes a day early or sometimes even earlier when I'm just like, I'm going to throw it up there now. And you also get bonus episodes. And if you're at the $10 or $20 a month level, you get merch. And if you have not reached out to me to get your merch, then you need to email me at Shea, SHEA, at rainydayrabbitholes.com. You know who you are. If you've been a patron for a while at $10 or $20 and haven't gotten a gift, that is your fault.
Yeah.
Because I have reached out to you, not to victim blame, but it is true. They're not actually a victim. They're a victim of not getting their free merch.
So aggressive.
Sorry. Anyways, we appreciate all of you. Thank you so much. All right. Well, we'll see you next time and
See you down the rabbit hole.